This isn't my story, but of someone that I love so much. I watched this person get lost in addiction. Are you struggling with addiction? Or do you know anyone who is suffering from addiction? Because statistics show that 1 in every 5 people suffers from addiction. And 1 in every 5 people knows someone who is struggling with addiction, who is suffering with addiction, or someone who is about to start being addicted. So I'll tell you a story about my friend. She was very calm, but one day it started with violence, then loneliness, and then she became hopeless. Does this sound like your story? This is to remind you, don't pay attention on the falling part. I want you to remember how she got back up because there's still hope for you and for your loved one. So today, this is for anyone who feels that they're so far gone into addiction. For anyone loving someone who is stuck in there, there is more than just the pain. There's hope and real hope. Addiction isn't a choice, it's not laziness, and it's not moral failure. It is a disease of the brain, one that rewires how you experience pain, joy, connection, and time. The person I knew didn't wake up one day and decided, oh, I'm going to ruin my life from today. No. At first, it was so casual. A drink here, a pill there. But over time, it became the only way she knew how to survive. And this was a way for her to just numb the pain that she had, the pain of losing someone, the pain of hurt, the pain of having gone through a traumatizing experience in life. Some of these things people don't talk to people about them. These experiences that our loved ones go through, but they choose to keep quiet. And the only way they know how to numb that pain, that grief of a lost one, that poor grades in school, that pain of having coming from a broken family, that pain of losing job, that pain of not being able to meet your needs, that pain of seeing your children suffer so hopelessly and you can do nothing. Some of our loved people and people that you care so much go through that and they turn into substance abuse to just find a way to go by and survive. And that quest of looking for something that will take your attention from your traumas and your pain, that's where addiction starts from. And this eventually becomes the only way of survival. And it's always harder than it looks. When addiction kicks in, it becomes so hard to notice from the outside. These could be people who go to work every single morning with a smile on their face, taking very beautiful pictures and videos to post on Instagram. And these people, they'll always say the right thing to our faces. And if you're not so keen enough to notice, you never know they're going through an addiction until it's so late in life when the changes come so soon. That's when you start to notice the broken promises, the excuses, the mood swings, and the withdrawal. They become someone else, not because they want to, But this is because the addiction has taken the will over the will. The addiction now drives them and is always in control of the will. And if violence enters the picture, whether it's towards themselves or to someone else, it adds another layer of shame, secrecy, and trauma. This could lead to broken relationships between a parent and a son, a parent and a child, between siblings, between spouses. It becomes so worse. And most time, when violence kicks in, it becomes so hard to repair the situation. And what happened to them? They're left in loneliness instead of help. When one of the worst things about addiction isn't the substance use, but rather the silence. People stop checking in and you stop asking for help. Shame builds in and builds a huge wall between you and the people you care so much. I remember asking my friend, "Are you okay?" And she would smile and say, "Yeah, just tired." But they weren't so tired, they were drowning into addiction. The truth is, addiction isolates people, not just physically but emotionally. And for some, that loneliness is more dangerous than the drug itself. Because the more you feel isolated, the more you turn into the substance you use for justification, for oneness, for closeness, because that becomes the only thing that you know in your life on how to numb your pain. That becomes the new norm in your life and you feel part of it because it becomes an unjudgmental space for you. And just because everyone out there is judging on you, isolation becomes your companion and your substance dosages go higher each and every day because your body is building tolerance level for the substance abuse. Some people could turn to pornography and it becomes an addiction. Could be because of body shaming, could be because of sex starvation from your spouse, and that becomes the only way you know how to feel fulfilled and satisfied. When everything breaks, it comes to a breaking point. They lost their job, pushed away family, their relationships ended. There was no more pretending. That moment, everything falls apart, and it's very terrifying. But strangely, it's also when the door to healing cracks open. Because when there's nothing left to hide behind, you finally start to see what's real. And sometimes what's real is a chance to start again. Recovery isn't instant, it's not romantic, it's raw, slow, and very unpredictable. They start with detox, then counseling, group meetings, hard conversations, and I mean hard conversations. There were days they almost gave up, nights they cried alone, times they relapsed. But every time they came back. That's the part people don't say. Recovery isn't about never falling, it's about learning how to get back up again and again. And with support, with community, with honesty, yeah, they did it. Recovery isn't perfect, it's possible. They are now sober, not because they are lucky, but because they chose to fight for their lives every single day. They speak honestly about what they have been through. They help others, they laugh again, and this time it's real. Are things really perfect? No, but they are alive and they are free, and I have never been more proud. If you're watching me and you're dealing with addiction, please hear me. You are not your addiction. You are not your mistakes. You are not broken beyond repair. You deserve help. You deserve healing. You deserve to feel proud of yourself again. And if you're loving someone who is still in it, don't give up on them, but protect your heart too. Recovery is possible, but it takes time, patience, and truth. If this video is a reminder that addiction is real, but so is recovery. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment if you have been through it or you're going through it. Even a single heart could let someone know that you're not alone. And subscribe if you want more content that speak to real life, healing, recovery, and second chances. You are not too far gone. There's still time. There's still hope. This video is a reminder that addiction is real.